Let's talk about a huge problem. You've got contact center leaders investing billions in AI, yet the vast majority of these projects just fizzle out. They never scale. So if you're a leader looking at your tech investments and wondering why they're not delivering, the answer probably isn't in the tech stack. It's hiding in your organization's decision-making DNA.
So here's our game plan for this explainer. We're going to start with that paradox of high investment and low impact. Then we'll diagnose the real root cause, a crisis of confidence. Trace how that chaos cascades right down through the organization, and finally, talk about the cure.
Okay, let's just frame the central problem everyone's feeling right now. It is this incredibly frustrating and very expensive gap between what technology promises and what it actually delivers.
I mean, look at this number from MIT Sloan. It is staggering. 90 to 95% of AI pilots failed to get any real, scalable impact. And get this, it's despite the tech being perfectly viable. The tool works, but the value just isn't showing up across the business.
So that really begs the question, right? If it's not the software's fault, then what's really going on? Well, all the evidence points to something fundamentally human. It's a breakdown in how we make really important decisions when the pressure is on.
To really get to the bottom of this failure to launch, we have to look at a deeper underlying condition. It's the systemic erosion of our ability to just decide, commit, and move forward with confidence.
The Leadership Execution Institute actually has a name for this, the Decision Confidence Crisis in Contact Centers. And it's not about a lack of data or options. It's a behavioral paralysis that creates these huge organizational costs. We're talking major project delays, wasted resources, and momentum that just grinds to a halt.
So how do you spot this crisis in the wild? Well, we can use a really sharp diagnostic tool called the FONE Framework for leadership behavior. Just think of it as a way to identify the 4 predictable ways our decision-making gets derailed when things get intense.
All right, first up, F is for fear. We all know this one, right? It's that instinct to prioritize not messing up over actually winning. Especially with these high-visibility AI projects, the career risk feels enormous, and it leads to total analysis paralysis. It creates a culture where making no decision feels way safer than making the wrong one.
Then you have the complete opposite end of the spectrum, O for overconfidence. This is about making lightning-fast commitments to seem decisive, but without doing the homework. And what does that lead to? A mess of uncoordinated pilots, bad vendor choices, and that sinking feeling of purchase regret after a rushed buy.
N stands for negative impressions. This is all about the internal politics, isn't it? It's when managing how things look to stakeholders becomes more important than making the best choice for the business. This is what breeds those safe, incremental decisions that feel comfortable but honestly get you nowhere.
And finally, E is for execution blindness, and this one is a killer. It's the total failure to see past getting the yes. We get so focused on making the choice that we completely ignore the massive downstream effort, the integration, the training, the workflow changes that are actually required for it to work.
So here's the crucial part. You see how these forces push the organization between 2 toxic extremes? On one side, fear and negative impressions, they create total paralysis. The whole organization just gets stuck in gridlock. And on the other, you have overconfidence and execution blindness, creating a flurry of impulsive action. All this reactive, poorly planned activity that just burns resources and goes nowhere. And this toxic cycle, this constant violent lurching between paralysis and impulsive action, it has a name. It's called decision whiplash. It's a pattern of overcorrection that makes real learning impossible. It kills trust, and it guarantees you never build any lasting strategic momentum. This is the heart of what we mean by decision whiplash in decision-making.
But here's the really scary part. This dysfunction, it doesn't just stay in the executive suite. It cascades all the way down, and it directly torpedoes performance and the customer experience across your entire operation.
Let's connect the dots here, because this is absolutely critical. You have decision whiplash at the top, inconsistent signals, priorities changing every week. This chaos directly creates something we call supervisor drift. Your supervisors getting chaotic signals from above start drifting away from standards, and that leads to inconsistent coaching and totally misaligned teams. And that drift, it shows up right on your dashboard. This isn't some soft, fuzzy cultural thing. We're talking inconsistent customer experiences, KPIs that are all over the map, higher agent attrition, and wasted money on misaligned projects. These are the very metrics that leaders, directors, and VPs are held accountable for.
Okay, enough of the problem. How do we actually fix this? The answer is not another weekend leadership training course. We have to completely reframe the goal. We have to stop trying to fix individuals and start building a new organizational capability.
The cure is building decision agility with the CALM model. But listen, this is not another checklist to hang on the wall. This is the embedded logic, the new operating system for how your organization makes decisions. A system to clarify the decision, assess the real impact, limit the noise from competing priorities, and finally move with genuine confidence. This logic has to become the default path.
So, the million-dollar question is, how do you actually embed this new logic into your organization's DNA? Well, it absolutely requires a system-level solution that fundamentally changes how leadership is executed day to day.
And this right here is probably the single most important takeaway from our entire conversation. This is a system problem, not a people problem. Your leaders aren't failing. The operating system they are forced to work within is failing them. So the solution has to fix the system.
This is exactly where a systemic fix, like the one from Call Center Coach, comes into play. We're talking about a leadership execution system, replacing leadership training, one that's built on continuous reinforcement. It uses culture-calibrated AI for supervisor consistency, making sure every single leader is aligned to your standards. This means the right behaviors get reinforced where it actually counts, in their work and in their teams. It's built with your supervisors and calibrated to your unique culture.
So, as we wrap this up, I'll leave you with one big question to take back to your team. Is your organization's operating system actually built for agility and confidence? Or is it, if you're being honest, fundamentally hardwired for the chaos of decision whiplash?
Because at the end of the day, the goal is to have a system that empowers confident, aligned action from everyone. Call Center Coach builds the leadership execution systems that eliminate decision whiplash and align every single supervisor to lead your way.